If you watched the previous tutorial, you would have seen us create a very simple class, the vehicle class, with the registration number private member variable, the rego number public property, and the display data public method. Well, in this video, I've actually just created another private member variable, owner's name, a corresponding public property, owner, and then I've added to the display data sub the owner's name, so that when we go over here, we've still got a hard-coded registration number. I've added the hard-coded name, and then I've called for both of those pieces of data to be output. So currently our output looks like that. In this tutorial, we're going to demonstrate inheritance. So what I've got is a second class called car. Now this class is going to inherit the public properties and the public method that we've already created in the vehicle class. So the first thing we've got to do is type inherits vehicle, making sure it's spelled correctly. And now by default I have a relationship between the car class, which is the subclass or child class, and its parent or base class, the vehicle. So this class is going to have a couple of its own properties. So I need two private member variables. I'm going to put make and model into this car class. They're both going to be strings. And then I need to set up the public properties for each. And we'll do that for the model property. Okay, so if we go to the main program, let's create another object. I'm going to go dim one car this time as new car. Now we can see inheritance at work. So if I go one car dot, you can see there's rego number and owner properties. These are the public properties of the vehicle class. You can also see display data, which was actually from the vehicle class. We haven't written any subs or methods at all in the car class yet, and yet we've got access to one. But you can also see we also have make and model. So if we go the make of car, one car.make equals, what should we say, Alfa Romeo. One car.model equals 159. But then let's also add a rego number and owner. So one car.rego number, remember this is a property that was inherited from the vehicle class. And one car.owner. Now at the moment, if I go one vehicle.display data or one car.display data, it will only display these two values up here. So what I need to do is go over to the vehicle class, and what we're doing here is also showing polymorphism. So I want public overridable sub display data. Then in the car class, I'm going to write a method called public overrides sub display data. Just get rid of that default one there. So what that means is now both the car class and the vehicle class have a method called display data. But when I use display data with the car object, this particular one will appear. And when I use display data for the vehicle object, this one here will appear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste those two lines, put it into the car method, but I'm also going to add another two lines as well. So we're going to add the make, just to update that, and the model, because we've been able to assign these to the car object. We can't for the vehicle object because make and model don't exist, but we can for the car. Now you'll also notice that the registration number and owner's manual private member variables are actually highlighted in red here. If we hover over one of them, it says down the bottom, the OOP vehicle.vehicle registration number is not accessible in this context because it's private. Well, yeah, registration number with the underscore here is a private member variable of the vehicle class. So this shows us that with inheritance, only the public properties and methods are passed on to the car class, not the private member variables. So what we can do is, instead of going underscore registration number, I can actually refer directly to the public property. And same for this one, it's owner. Yeah, that's because I still have to make an amendment in the main program. So I have called one vehicle.displayData. If I put a blank line in here and then go call one car.displayData, we'll just add one more thing to each display data sub. I'm going to go console.writeLine. From the vehicle class, copy and paste that line and go over to car and put that one there as well. Change vehicle for car. Oops, if I can use my touchpad properly. Right, so now let's run our program and we should see more things output. Great, so from the vehicle class we have called upon in display data two hard-coded properties. And behind the scenes we've got the private member variables containing these pieces of data. We've then updated two of those properties with new values, but then we've also been able to access two additional properties in the car class. So what we've seen there is both inheritance, the passing down of the registration number and owner's name properties, plus polymorphism, where objects of both classes can use the same sub display data, but the code's slightly different in each sub, so they produce different results.